conversation today. Oh, hold on. Hang on. Recording folder. Wait. Something is full on my computer. You know what probably keeps happening? I keep forgetting to stop recording, and the thing just continues and records on my computer for like 8 more hours. And now I have no room. I'm just gonna delete one random one. Hopefully it's not that important of a... Oh, I'm gonna delete 2 of them. There goes 2 recordings of A Course in Miracles. No longer on my computer. All right, we are gonna get started. I sent a message out late, but people will come as they come, and they can catch recordings. Hey, Tess Nova. So just something really cool this week happened for me. As we're talking about finding the present, I'm going to talk about the past for a second, because I think it was on, what was it, Thursday night, I think, Thursday night, I had a walk down memory lane, which was really cool, and it stemmed from actually being on a call with Lyra and Monica at first. I Googled myself for the first time, and I saw all these, there was so many things on Google of all the things that I've done. I've collected a lot of stuff, and I've been on lots of podcasts and put out lots of content. So it's really cool to see that that's all over Google. But then that led to us going down memory lane of seeing the first videos that I posted and really seeing how far I've come. Then that night, before I was going to sleep, Tasnova had sent me a message, and then we went down this whole rabbit hole of my first time posting on Facebook and my life 10 years ago, what my 30s looked like. And it was really cool. It was really cool to see all of that, and I really truly enjoyed it. This is the best combo. And it was funny to just see the different phases in my life. And we talked about what was our problems then? What was our worldview? What was going on in the world during that time? What was I stressed about? What broke my heart? What was I excited about then? And fast forward to today, it's like all of that doesn't even really exist, does it? And it's just really interesting that we get so attached to ideas, and we feel so deeply today as if it is the truth, as if it is the reality of eternity, which it never is. So this chapter here today that we're going to talk about is finding the present, because it is very hard for our minds to grasp what that really even means. So as you just think about the concept of the present, what is the present? Try to imagine what the present is without your thoughts and ideas about present, without like an understanding of time. And it's very hard for us to even comprehend what that means. It is something that can really only be experienced when the mind is not there. And sometimes we'll grasp those moments, but immediately the ego mind starts judging that moment? Can we truly be present with somebody? The Course says that healing can only happen in the present because the present is the only moment that exists, and this is where love and God resides. Without all the stories, and we touched on the concepts the last couple of weeks about our biggest fear is not in failure. Our biggest fear is not that we're going to be punished or crucified or judged at the end of the day. Our biggest fear is not that we're going to hell. Our biggest fear is that we actually have to, that this is hell, and that we would have to change an identity, the identity that we've built for our whole physical body life, that we would need to change something about that, our ideas and what we've defended against and what came out of our mouth. Everything that we say, everything that we think, we've been defending it. We've been adding it on to our identity. These are tabs that are opening up like a Chrome tab. We've got millions of tabs opened up, and our biggest fear is not that the tabs are going to create confusion, that the tabs going to cause us pain or suffering or delay. Our biggest fear is that we would have to close some of those tabs. Our biggest fear is in redemption, is in the resurrection, is in success, because that means everything I said in the past, I would need to change. And based off of this concept right here, and the Course has taught me about identity, is actually the reason why I put on live events too. Because it gives us an opportunity to show up in a new way for ourselves to witness ourselves and for others to witness us. So we remember what that looks like. And I was asked last night, I was being filmed. We're creating a video, a promo video for our upcoming event in July in Salt Lake City, July 25th to 27th for our next breakthrough event. And I was asked, like, what's the one favorite thing you love about these live events? And I was like, it's people's smiles. The way people smile and laugh at that event is distinct and different from the way that others, or at least the way that I perceive it in other times, because there is moments and there are exercises that we do that help you get into the present experience. And that smile, without all the noise, without all the busy thoughts of the past and the future, is a really beautiful one. And so our biggest fear is in having to let go of the identity we've built up as Alex. Who is Alex? What was my philosophy in 2020? 10 years ago. 10 years ago, what was I willing to go to war over? Where was I willing to throw my peace away over? I can't even remember. What were people fighting about on Facebook during that time? Where was the conflict in the world during that time? I don't really know. And is it the end of the world? And as we think about what's going on today and then into the future, what's that going to look like? See, if we hold on to the past and we only remember the past, oh, I do remember 10 years ago on that day. Oh man, I was so angry at that person. And I'm going to bring that anger back to the present moment about why I was angry. And then I'm going to project it into my future. See, the ego wants to cut out the present moment. The ego wants you to be in the past and then skip the present, and the future is just more or the same like the past. As seekers, as practitioners, and students, as a student of A Course in Miracles, my constant practice is, can I forgive the past moment so that it does not chain or trap the future moments. And it's as simple as, it doesn't have to be extreme. You can think about any person in your life. What is the image that you have of them? What are the things that you like and dislike about them that make it who they are in your mind? We don't really live in the present moment. We live in interpretations. We don't see people as they are. We see them through the echoes of who they were. And so we trap them in our minds and we put them in a prison in our mind, and we sit at the door of the jail cell, and we're like, you stay there. And so we don't actually give anybody an opportunity to show up differently in the future, because that's what the present is for. We don't really feel this moment. We're just anticipating the next one, or we're replaying or rehearsing the last one. That's what the ego feeds off of. The ego, it thrives in our past stories, and our ego thrives in tomorrow's defense. If you're wanting to seek peace, if you want more peace in your life, you can practice the awakening moment, the Christ consciousness moment, which is right now I can bring somebody to my mind. Who are they? It's probably the easiest to find somebody that triggers you the most. Somebody that lies all the time, or is angry all the time, or is short all the time, or it's just really annoying to be around. You can take that person and see if you can forgive that, so that in the present moment, right here, right now, you can see a different version of them. And as you're willing to do that, see, the Course teaches that the giving is in the receiving. So as I'm willing to give that, I'm going to give myself the opportunity to wake up. I'm going to give myself the opportunity to heal from any conflicts that I may have, any resentments that I may hold. Because why do you even want them? See, that's our biggest fear. Our fear is not that our resentments are going to ruin our lives, even though we know that our biggest fear isn't letting them go, because then who would I be without that? It's always something needs to be fixed. Someone needs to be fixed before I can feel at peace. Somebody needs to apologize first, right? They do not need to apologize first. We get to be better, stronger, and clearer. Here is the one line that basically summarizes everything we're going to talk about here today, is that peace is in the now, or it is not at all. Peace is in the now, or not at all. It's black and white. I love A Course in Miracles. A Course in Miracles gives you black and white. You're either all in or you're all out. There is no halfway in, halfway out. And no healing, yes, peace is in the now. There is no healing in the past. There is no salvation in the future. And what we're afraid of is if I don't stop my search for something, it's like the present moment is something that we have to grasp or work towards. It's like love. It's like God. The moment that you try to define it, the moment you try to grasp it, you've already missed it. It's like music, actually. If you're playing music or if you're singing, if you have to think about it, you've already missed the beat and you're off beat. If for a moment that you think about, ooh, what do I sound like? What does it look like? You are off. So the present is not found by chasing it, by thinking it. It's just in stopping. Stopping the search for it. Now that's I feel like I have a song line in my head that just came. The moment you stop seeking is the moment you find it, something like that. But what we're afraid of is that if we let go of the past and we let go of all of our ideas and our interpretations, if we let go of the identity of myself, what's left? We're afraid of the emptiness that we may find if we let all that go. It's like, I have an analogy coming to my head now, so bear with me. It's like an eggshell, like an egg, right? We paint all the stuff on the outside and we just keep adding more things to it. We're afraid that on the inside of that there is nothing. So we continue to build on this armor. My eggshell armor. We continue to build on it and we add more things and we'll put sparkling things on it. We'll dress it up. We'll do all the things until we can't even recognize that it is an egg anymore. There's probably a better analogy than this, but it's just coming to my mind as I'm speaking right now. Hopefully it's landing the point. Inside that egg, maybe a treasure chest, but inside that egg, we're afraid that it's empty. That if we were left without all the stuff we dressed this thing up as, then what would we be? And here's what the Course reminds us. The Course reminds us that inside is not nothing. Inside is not emptiness. Inside is where God resides. Inside is the truth of who you are. Inside is infinity. Inside is heaven. Inside is where love is. So, as you guys can see, I'm very passionate about this section. Very passionate about this section here. I try to practice it in my life. I try to. Maybe I should stop trying. But yeah, love to just open it up now of thoughts, comments, questions. What are your thoughts? Let's see. There's a lot of chats here. Boom. The best comment. Oh yeah. Yeah. Who would I be without my resentments? All right, Armando. What's feeling alive for anybody that's on here today? It doesn't even have to be about the past conversation we just had a couple moments ago. It could be anything. Go ahead, Jill.
Good morning.
Good morning. Always.
Hear what you have to start the day out with and contemplate it. But I was actually contemplating it earlier today. I went to Quaker meeting, which you sit in silence for an hour unless spirit moves you. And if spirit moves you, then you speak. But no one reacts to that speaking, whatever that might be. And I was remembering I would say the only time in my life that I've actually felt, I felt it a few times, but for such a prolonged period of time, true peace. And I've explained it before, I believe here. It was the first time that I did Vipassana meditation, and I actually thought I had achieved enlightenment. So it was 35 years ago. And my head exploded after, X number of days of silent meditation. And this incredible peace and calm came over me and it lasted, like I say, slowly dissipated, but over a period of 3 months, I thought I had achieved enlightenment. And I had, for those moments, in pure love that I felt inside my cells forever. It was just magnificent. And I have experienced just brief glimpses of it since then. But what I think the experience involved was going through every single thing, like until all the thoughts were finished. I think when you sit Vipassana for long periods of time, every thought, it just has to go away at some point. It just leaves. You've examined it, you examine it within your own mind to a degree. Things come up even when you're sleeping, and everything dissipates. So what are you left with? What am I left with? I'm left with my true self. And that's the only time I can remember distinctly. Like I say, I've had other moments of it, but they've been brief. But that was such a prolonged period of time that it lasted for so long that it was so memorable. And the only thing that I could say was it was pure love. It was vibrational as well. So it was a vibration that resounded within my body as well. And it truly brought me to the present moment in every present moment. And so what you're talking about past, future, which is a cause of suffering in a way. So any attachment whatsoever is the only cause of suffering, is attachment.
Yeah.
The Bhagavad Gita that's the whole point of the Hindu book, the Bhagavad Gita, which is a very tiny book, but the only point of which is a small tiny book like this, part of a huge book like this called the Mahabharata. And in the Gita, that's the teaching. The teaching is that anything that in any way we attach ourselves to, including a thought, honestly, it doesn't mean a thing necessarily or a person necessarily. It can even be a thought that we have any kind of attachment to is cause for suffering. Attachment causes suffering.
Yep.
And that's what came to my mind today. Thank you.
Amazing, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I was trying not to laugh about a thought that I just had before, but it's like, I think you started the conversation with, in the past, I was thinking about the present. Right? It's like, I was thinking about that time that I was present. The experience of that time. And then I was like, okay, I'm trying to think. And then even the idea in my head, I was like having a conversation for a second. I was like, trying to think? What do you mean trying to think? And so I was trying not to laugh during what you were sharing. Sorry, we just wanted to bring that up about what live for me in that moment too. But these practices, like the Vipassana, I can only really imagine what that looks like. I haven't done it. I haven't ventured into that realm yet, but I do imagine it to be really, really powerful. Because think about us being on this call for an hour and a half discussing. We're talking, right? Most of what we're actually talking, it's concepts that's coming into my mind. We might just be opening up more tabs, but I imagine during Vipassana you're closing all the tabs, right? Because it's like the silence. You're really just, you can have full blown conversations with yourself, which is what the Course says that you're actually always doing, anyways. And we have just these images. And so, yeah, thank you, Joe, first of all, for always being the first one to be willing to share as well. And I love that. I love that. You are a great
It, it,
contribution and leader.
it comes with being a Gemini. We can't help ourselves.
Is that what it is? Because even at events, I noticed that in live events too, you are the one that gives people permission to raise their hand and share. So love it. Thank you. Uh Mike, what's up?
What's up? What's up? Yeah, perfect timing because I was really having trouble getting present before this call.
Yeah.
I know what's on my mind and I know what's tugging at my emotions in my life right now. And it's around this restaurant job that I mentioned on the last call I was on that I'm working to support myself part time.
Right.
And there's some things going on there that I can feel are bringing up personal things in me. Well, first of all, if I go back 15 years ago, I was fighting for a job that I didn't even want and a career that I didn't even want. I was killing myself, stressing out, like focused on all the things that I eventually realized were not what were most important to me. And then I went on my spiritual path and all the things and got to where I, am and where I want to be now. So I'm at this place, and at first I was like, man, this is going great. I'm making some good money here. But they're overstaffed. They've got a lot of people. Business is unpredictable. And they gave me this BS schedule for the whole month. Like one Monday at night, and I'm on call like 10 times. That's like in case they need you. Nobody else had that on their schedule. So I started to sense some unfairness. And like it's happening in different ways, and the restaurant people are a little bit different energy than I am, right? It's a lot of kind of demanding what they need, maybe taking advantage where they can. And I've always had some nice guy in me, right, that I've been working on over the years to bring a little bit more of that speaking up for myself, the masculine energy, like, no, this is not okay, that kind of stuff. So I picked up a shift last night for a pop-in Saturday night from another server. I'm like, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna make a lot of money. Place was jammed, but I get in and they place me as the runner for the food, which is like support staff. You don't really make money. You're not serving. And they said, oh, we heard you mention that in a meeting, like, because there was a meeting earlier that day. And I said, maybe on an off night I could come do this for like an hour or two just to like know the food better. So anyway, I think they were just overstaffed and they threw me in there. They kind of throw Mike where they need him because he's perhaps agreeable. Maybe this is the story that I'm making up. I'm flexible and I'm trying to do all the right things and I'm getting better and I'm coming up. I started to get this like frustration in my gut. And I feel that the reason why it's messing with me so much personally, it's not even so much about the money. Because I had this realization the other day. I said, I need to be careful of how much energy and care that I'm placing on this situation because I know it's temporary. I'm a speaker. I'm working on my speaking career and building the entrepreneur path. That's where my heart is. So I told myself, I was like, Mike, don't get too caught up and like too wrapped up in what's going on here because there's all these moving parts that I can't see. I know it's not all me. And it's not really my ideal world. If I make a little bit more or a little bit less, like I want to be at the point where that doesn't affect me so much because I know where my vision is and it's not that. And yet, I come home and I'm just like, I'm boiling a little bit inside because I feel like there's some unfairness. And then that part of me might I feel like I'm being taken advantage of a little bit. So it might not be this at all. For all I know, they can make the new schedule and it might be great. It might be all in my head. But I noticed myself this morning, I was there late last night. My energy is like all jacked this morning. It's a crazy busy place. And I'm like, this is really like in my gut, because maybe of this old identity, I guess part of me feels like I'm not at peace until I can do something about it and maybe prove to them or speak up in the right way, like that this is not okay. But I'm tiptoeing because it's a business, and hope this makes sense.
Yes.
So it feels less about the money, because I'm like, this isn't where I want to be anyway. This is for now. But there's this like inner identity thing that's like, I don't want to be taken advantage of anymore. And I feel like people are doing it because I'm kind. That's what's coming up for me. And I'm trying to get present through that by letting it go. But then part of my mind's like, I need to fix this so I can feel okay. And so these people can know that that's not okay.
Mm-hmm. First of all, every time that I feel like I'm getting mistreated or I'm getting the unfair end of the stick, I think about how many people would give everything just to be in that spot. How many people, and this is where I go actually in my mind. I think about how many people would give anything to just be able to even walk. And then I'm like, okay, what am I bitching about? All right, so I first just slap myself first and get myself back into this place of gratitude. 2, it is if you communicate in a way that is, I am communicating what my needs are. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm thinking. But from a place of, not that I need to get right. Because if you go with the energy of get right, you can say the exact same thing to either your manager or whoever. The same words come out of your mouth. But if your energy is I need to get right versus my energy is gratitude, that I'm even walking and alive and can do these things and run and even show up. Right? The fact that I can, the way that you communicate it, not the words itself, but the thoughts and the energy that's behind it, shifts the entire conversation. Because 1, you're also not really attached to the outcome, right? Coming from I need to get right, you're attached to an outcome, and then that you will just draw more of what you actually don't want. And so here's the thing about this chapter too. All of that is the past, right? We're rehearsing our past stories. We are trying to justify our present experience and my shares and how I felt then. Because actually here, right now, in this moment, you don't need to feel that unless you choose to go back to live in the past. And if you choose to go back to live in the past, then tomorrow will probably just be more of the same as yesterday. That's why healing happens in this moment, in the present moment. We don't even need to find the present moment. Oh, what am I experiencing now? Unless I bring my mind back to the past again, I don't experience that. And if I don't experience that, then I give the future a new possibility. Maybe it's not even in... Because what you're truly asking for is not actually to be treated differently. It's not a different role. It's not a different job. It's nothing that needs to change. What you're really asking for is that your mind experiences it differently. Think about that for a second, right? We're like, no, it needs to be the way they talk to me. It needs to be the way they schedule my work and all of that. But what we're really wanting is peace. What if I just changed the way that I thought about it? Because our world and what we attract, if you do believe in manifestation, that the outside is a product of the inside, if you really do believe that, then you have to practice your soul's alignment to that philosophy, that ideal right there. And this is what the Course is teaching us and reminding us, that the outside is a product of the inside. But if we go and do things like I need the outside to change just a little bit so that my inside can get aligned, then we've completely lost our way. And so you have an opportunity right now to actually live into one of the best, greatest teachings of A Course in Miracles, is that the world does not need to change. My perception about the world needs to change. So it's a perfect example of using your job as that. Because if you feel like you need to speak up so that the outside changes so my inside can experience something different, you are weakening yourself. You are reinforcing the limited version of Mike. But to call out the greatest version of you is to recognize that you are the generator of your experience. And then in those moments, you would feel great. Imagine just feeling great, being just like called in whenever, and and they talk to you the way they talk to you, and they put you in these places. If you feel great about that, all of a sudden everyone's like, man, we want Mike around more. All of a sudden, oh my God, why is everybody in this restaurant asking for that guy that runs around, the server boy, not the one that is serving the food or whatever, right? The runner. Why is there always more people in the restaurant when Mike is here? Why is business always better? Why are the people in better mood? And then the entire thing changes because of the way that you looked at the way your experience, where it comes from. It is massive what you just shared.
Yeah, and I'll say a couple things. I've been doing that, like, what you're saying is 100% helping. I can actually feel like a releasing in my solar plexus. Like listening and agreeing. Because I know this and I need the reminder.
Mm-hmm.
I was making it about the outside. I need more of the inside. And I've been working to do that. I totally embraced it last night. And I'm phenomenal with my tables. They've all asked for me back. And they're like, this guy's amazing. They've even told the staff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I was waiting, though, for this to catch up, for them to realize it.
But
this conversation is reinforcing it, and it feels better to keep just changing the way that I'm looking at it. As a positive thing. I'll take it wherever they need me, and I was taking it as like a reflection of my past. Like, no, I'm not this extra expendable guy. That's what I was. That's what I was in my old job.
Yep.
So no, I don't want to fight it. And I think it also takes a little bit of time for it to catch up. Like, I'm in a moment now, but, in a couple of weeks or something, it could be different.
Or today.
Or today. Yeah. Right.
The ego's like, nah, right now you are in your shit. And you're going to be in your shit for the next couple weeks. That's the ego for you. But yeah, I mean, there will be one distinct moment where this completely lands for you. And it will be moments, and then you will forget, and then you come back again, right? Fear is going to say, oh, people are looking for me, and they tell the staff. Fear is going to say, ooh, well, other people are going to be jealous. That's probably why they throw me in this position. They want me to look worse. And then love saying, no, you're just crazy. You have no idea what they're thinking, and you make it up. And if you make it up, you reinforce what's going to happen. You actually make that the reality. Love says, man, I'm just so glad to be here. I get to laugh. I get to smile. I get to walk. I get to be around people. I'm not in prison. Some sort. But as you were talking, I felt the call to just grab a Year of Miracles and open it up to see what Marianne Williamson has to say about this. And of course, she's always saying something woke. So here it is for you, Mike. Day 99. I can be whoever I choose to be today. Who and how I was yesterday has no inherent connection to who and how I choose to be today. My present is not caused by my past unless I choose that it be so. For in any given moment, regardless of circumstances, I can choose again. I can choose strength instead of weakness and love instead of fear. I can choose to bless instead of blame and to lean into the future rather than dragging with me the past. The limits of yesterday have no power over the unlimited possibilities of this moment, for in God all things are possible, and in God all things are programmed to be perfect. I make myself available to this moment, allowing the Spirit of God to illuminate my heart. Dear God, may this present moment be a holy one, in which nothing but your light shines into my mind and extends through me. Amen.
What? Where can I find that again? What chapter? That was great.
Oh, great. Let me just take a picture of it, because once I close it, I may find it again or I may not. Here. I took a picture. I will put it in the WhatsApp chat.
I don't think I'm in the WhatsApp chat, but...
Oh, man. What have you been doing?
I didn't know there was one. I get a text message when it says it's a call, and I get an email.
Okay, hold on. Can you see the chat in here?
Yeah, I can see the chat in here.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to give you a special invite. Oh, Claudia's going to give you an invite. Okay, well, I'm going to put it in the chat here just in case anybody else is not in there. And then after you join, Mike, I will repost this picture. I'm going to actually just delete it real quick until you get here.
I appreciate it.
Oh, there you go. Miguel Rodriguez is in. Oh, whoops. That's not it. Here you go. For you. No, for us. Okay, whoops. All right, well, it says yes. I'm just going to leave it at that. It's a you and us at the same time. Okay, who else? Oh, Christine, thank you so much. You are simply the best. Oh, what else is showing up in the present moment? Fraser, what's present for you?
Actually, that conversation that you guys were having, it actually made me like reflect back.
Oh, the past is bringing up more of the past. Tell me about it.
And I was like, interesting how I felt that way when I was working for all these big plumbing companies. And then once I went on my own, I didn't have that feeling anymore. But it's interesting to kind of reflect and see where there's other spots that comes up, those conversations, and how like it's that return to love, to go back to your heart space.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. It was a powerful thing. How do you spell Vipassana, by the way?
It's already in the chat. You just gotta look in the chat.
Is?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe Mama Deborah put it in there already. The disturbances of working for a big company in our mind. And then it's different from the disturbances of working for myself. But really, disturbances are disturbances. They equally disturb your mind. They're just different forms of the same thing. They come from the same place. They come from the same place that says, you are not limitless. You have limitations. You don't have the power to control the outside. The outside has control over you. Right? Every time we give it away, this is just the disturbances are us giving power to other things that have no power. Those disturbances are the way in which we put things onto the altar of our soul that does not belong there. Our altar is just one. It's God, it's infinity, it's love. And we're like, no, that thing. Let's put that thing on here. That thing has power over me. That job has power over me. This identity, this idea has power over me. Only in the present moment can you actually witness and see that nothing else is on that altar. But for us, because present moment in thought looks like a sliver, less than a sliver, how do we see the present moment? Even the idea and the thinking, the interpretation, and the idea of the present moment takes us out of it. So, in today's chapter, let's see what the Course has to say about finding the present. And we just talked about the present is not found or by chasing it, it's by stopping chasing it. Stop identifying it. Stop putting anything behind the present is. So before we go into the read, does anybody else feel like there is something else present or needing to be shared? Okay then, here we go. Presenting ourselves to the words that we hear, to the thoughts that come, to the energies that we will receive, the frequencies, the downloads during the next couple moments here as we read this section, this chapter 13 in the Guiltless World, chapter 13, section 6, Finding the Present. Let's see if we could be present. Right here, right now. Nothing else needs to happen. Nothing else we need to be doing at the exact same time. Can we just be present to whatever is going to show up here? No thoughts about the past. Nothing to do. Preparing for the future. Let's see if we can just really allow. Finding the present. To perceive truly is to be aware of all reality through the awareness of your own. But for this, no illusions can rise to meet your sight, for reality leaves no room for any error. This means that you perceive a brother only as you see him now. His past has no reality in the present, so you cannot see it. Your past reactions to him are also not there, and if it is to them that you react, you see but an image of him, and you made and cherish instead of him. In your questioning of illusions, ask yourself if it is really sane to perceive what was as now. If you remember the past as you look upon your brother, you will be unable to perceive the reality that is now. You consider it natural to use your past experiences as a reference point for which to judge the present. Yet, this is unnatural because it is delusional. When you have learned to look on everyone with no reference at all to the past, either his or yours as you perceived it, you will be able to learn from what you see now. For the past can cast no shadow to darken the present unless you are afraid of the light. And only if you are would you choose to bring darkness with you. And by holding it in your mind, see it as a dark cloud that shrouds your brothers and conceals their reality from your sight. This darkness is in you. The Christ has revealed to you now has no past, but he is changeless, and in his changelessness lies your release. For if he is as he was created, there is no guilt in him. No cloud of guilt has risen to obscure him, and he stands revealed in everyone you meet because you see him through himself. To be born again is to let go of the past and look without condemnation upon the present. The cloud that obscures God's Son to you is the past, And if you would have it past and gone, you must not see it now. If you see it now in your illusions, it has not gone from you, although it isn't really there. Time can release as well as imprison, depending on whose interpretation of it you use. Past, present, future are not continuous unless you force continuity on them. You can perceive them as continuous and make them so for you. But do not be deceived and then believe that this is how it is. But do not, for to believe reality is what you would have it be according to your use for it is delusional. You would destroy time's continuity by breaking it into past, present, and future for your own purposes. You would anticipate the future on the basis of your past experience and plan for it accordingly. Yet by doing so, you are aligning past and future and not allowing the miracle which could intervene between them to free you to be born again. The miracle enables you to see your brother without his past and so perceive him as born again. His errors are all past, and by perceiving him without them, you are releasing him. And since his past is yours, you share in this release. Let no dark cloud out of your past obscure him from you, for truth lies in owning the present, and you will find it if you seek it there. You have to look for it where it is not, and therefore you have looked for it where it is not, and therefore have not found it. Learn then to seek it where it is, and it will dawn on your eyes, on the eyes that sees. Your past was made in anger, and if you would use it to attack the present, you will not see the freedom that the present holds. Judgment and condemnation are behind you, and unless you bring them with you, you will see that you are free of them. Look lovingly upon the present, for it holds the only things that are true forever. All healing lies within it, because the continuity is real. This extends to all aspects of the sonship at the same time, and thus enabling them to reach each other. The present is before time was, and there will be when time is no more. In it are all things that are eternal, and they are one. Their continuity is timeless, and their communication is unbroken, for they are not separated by the past. Only the past can separate, and it is nowhere. The present offers you your brothers in the light that would unite you with them and free you from the past. Would you then hold the past against them? For if you do, you are choosing to remain in the darkness that is not there and refusing to accept the light that is offered to you. For the light of perfect vision is freely given as it is freely received and can be accepted only without limit. In this one still dimension of time that does not change, and where there is no sight of what you were, you look at Christ and call his witness to shine on you because you called them forth. And they will not deny the truth in you because you look for it in them and found it there. Now is the time of salvation, for now is the release from time. Oops. Something popped up on my computer. Sorry. One sec. Okay. Back to the now. In timeless union with them is your continuity unbroken because it is wholly sacred. God's guiltless Son is only light. There is no darkness in him anywhere, for he is whole. Call all your brothers to witness his wholeness, as I am calling to you to join with me. Each voice as a part in the song of redemption, the hymn of gladness, and the thanksgiving of the light to the Creator of light. The holy light that shines forth from God's Son is the witness that his light is of his Father. Shine on your brothers in remembrance of your Creator, for you will remember him as you call forth the witness to his creation. Those whom you heal bear witness to your healing, for in their wholeness you will see your own. And as your rhythm, as your hymns and praises and gladness rise to your Creator, he will return his thanks. He will return your thanks in his clear answer to your call. For it can never be that his son calls upon him and remain unanswered. His call to you is but your call to him. And in him are your answer. In him you are answered by his peace. Child of light, you know not the light that is in you, yet you will find it through its witnesses. For having given light to them, they will return it. Each one you see in light brings your light closer to your awareness. Love always leads to love. The sick who ask for love are grateful for it, and in their joy they shine with holy thanks. And this they offer you who gave them joy. They are your guides to joy, for having received it for you, they would keep it. You have established them as guides to peace, for you have made it manifest in them, and seeing it, its beauty calls you home. There is a light that this world cannot give. Yet you can give it, as it was given you. And as you give it, it shines forth to call you from the world and follow it. For this light will attract you as nothing in this world can. And you will lay aside this world and find another. This other world is bright with love which you have given it. And here will everything remind you of your Father and his Holy Son. Light is unlimited and spreads across this world in quiet joy. All those you brought with you will shine on you, and you will shine on them in gratitude because they brought you here. Your light will join with theirs in power so compelling that it will draw the others out of darkness as you look on them. Awakening onto Christ is following the laws of love of your free will, and out of quiet recognition of the truth in them. The attraction of light must draw you willingly, and willingness is signified by giving. Those who accept love of you become your willing witnesses to the love you gave them, and it is this they will hold it out to you. In sleep, you are alone, and your awareness is narrow to you, and that is why the nightmares come. You dream of isolation because your eyes are closed. You do not see your brothers, and in the darkness you cannot look upon the light you gave to them. And yet, the laws of love are not suspended because you sleep. And you have followed them through your nightmares and have been faithful in your giving, for you are not alone. Even in sleep has Christ protected you, ensuring the real world for you when you awake. In your name he has given for you and given you the gifts he gave. God's Son is still as loving as his Father. Continuous with his Father, he has no past apart from him. So he has never ceased to be his Father's witness and his own. Although he slept, Christ's vision did not leave him. And so it is that he can call upon himself the witnesses to teach him that he never slept. Finding the present. Love always leads to love. I am writing that down because that is going to be my talk at Aria this week. All right, so, that was a lot. So what just happened? What's alive? What's present now? Anybody would like to share? Your awakening and the light that awaits you that Christ has held safe for you, the reality that Christ has held safe for you, is realized and seen only as you witness other people's light. It is happening simultaneously. And the Course is reminding you to look upon the world this way, to see your brothers, see your sisters as they are now. Our mind's like thinking, dot, 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 dot. Just imagine the Apple computer doing its little spinning thing. It's like, I'm trying to grasp the present. What does that look like? What does it look like when you look upon your brother with no past reference points? I guess we'll find out. We'll find out in the next encounter. Or now. To be born again is to let go of the past and look without condemnation upon the present. That word right there, condemning. We are condemning situations. We are condemning our brothers and sisters to the past. The release of you lies in your releasing of your brothers. And that's what the Course is reminding us again with the principle of giving and receiving as one. So the invitation for all of us is to be present. The reminder is to be present. What else? I asked ChatGPT, I always ask ChatGPT, just, can you summarize the entire chapter into one deep, thoughtful line? And it always does a great job. What was life like without ChatGPT? I can't remember. So ChatGPT says, the present is not a moment in time. It is the absence of time. The undistorted awareness that arises when the mind no longer seeks refuge in the past or protection in the future. That is what ChatGPT says about this chapter here. You know? So, awesome. Thank you, Jill. Lead us into shares.
Yeah, well, it seems to me that that if, I have this family issue going on for quite a while now,
Mm-hmm.
and I am wanting to be very clean in my communication and to not perceive my siblings in the past. I don't want to give any weight to that, and that's probably where the hardest part of that work is with your family, because you've known them since you were born. My older sister was 10 years old when I was born. My brother was 7. And my younger sister only 11 months after me. So those kind of imprints are so strong. And to release that and There is a line somewhere in the Bible, in the New Testament, where Jesus says something about, it almost comes across as, like you have to leave your family behind. I don't recall the exact words, and I may be getting it wrong, but there is a part there where and I remember once questioning the Episcopal pastor in the church where I used to attend about that. I used to ask him, because it said something like, you're supposed to hate your brothers and sisters. It was not exactly that, but it was somebody will find it, ChatGPT will find it. And I think for me, that's the biggest challenge, is that I want to communicate, but I don't want there to be even a trickle of the past that is somehow in my communication. I want my communication to be super clean, and so I don't say anything until I get to that point. I've decided not to say anything at all until I can really embrace that inside of myself and feel it inside of myself. So yeah, but that was just about the present, because we hold I think as humans, we hold on to that last experience. And that last experience, everybody's changing. My siblings are changing too. We're all changing. Every minute we're not the same from second to second. So even though in my own mind and in my heart, I feel a certain way about that communication, if everything is just a plea for love or an offering of love, everything is just a plea for love or an offering of love.
Mm-hmm.
So even when we see things, when I see something that I perceive negatively, that's just a perception.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even necessarily the truth, because it's either an offering of love or a plea for love. And so that's just my own personal experience right in the moment. I just received a communication from my brother the day before, 3 days ago, and I've just decided what I want to say is thank you, even though my initial reaction was F you. That was truly my initial reaction, was no, you're not handling this right. But then I wrote to my life coach and I sent it to her, and I wrote, should I say thank you? And she wrote yes. But I haven't gotten to the point where I can feel that, where I can actually feel that. And that's what I want to get to. I want to get to the point where I can feel thank you. Because I know that in his own mind, he thinks not really, maybe, that he's doing right.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, no one else was speaking, so I blabber.
No, it's great. Thank you for sharing that. A good friend of mine, he's like my big brother, actually, Michael DeSanti. He writes in his book, there's a chapter in New Man Emerging in his book called Keep Death Close. And, for me, as I interpret it, the thank you, right? Like, we often get to a point when somebody actually has physically left their body that we can say thank you and we forgive all those things. It's almost like while they're here, they need to apologize, and they need to do right by me, right? And until then, there really isn't a real thank you. But there is a thank you that is beyond what we think thank you really is. I appreciate your existence. I love you. That is beyond what we actually think it means, right? So you can allow the thank you to actually lead you to a greater awareness, instead of having to align your feelings to the thank you itself also. It's in the giving that we actually realize. The withholding is where we cannot actually experience that thank you. or withholding something behind it, even though I know I want to say thank you, even though I know that it's the right thing for my soul to do. But we're like, no, I got to feel it first. But there is no separation in which one comes first anyways. And that's just what's coming to my mind as you were sharing that.
I appreciate that, because I feel like sometimes I could say thank you, but they would know that underneath it, I didn't feel that. But maybe that's not true,
You
And
just made that up?
yeah, exactly. But which is why I was saying, I wanted to wait till I got to the point where I actually felt it. But
Yeah.
maybe I won't get, like, I have a friend, she used to say about her ex-husband, she used to say, oh, I forgave him, I didn't kill him. She used to go, yeah, that my forgiveness was that I didn't kill him.
Yeah.
And I used to find that kind of hilarious. But, at the same time, I feel like that shift within myself is going to make that thank you more thank you.
Right. Let's make it perfect before we give it, right?
Thank you for that.
Let's make my thank you really perfect and it's packaged really, really nice so that they can receive it. And if they don't receive it well, then I'm going to take my thank you back. Right? And it's just, see, we fear delays, fear withholds, and feelings are literally paper thin. Your feelings can change one moment and can change again later. Just give it and know that in eternity, the feeling will catch up to that thank you, the real feeling, right? And know that there is a possibility, right? All you need to know is that in the realm of all possibilities, there is a possibility that my thank you I would feel really genuine and they would feel really received, and that giving and receiving is complete, and it helps both of us remember. And if that is a possibility, then let me just do it. Let me just do it and then let that possibility come into existence, because actually that possibility is the truth that Christ is holding for us while we are asleep and while we are dreaming, while we're having nightmares, while we're delaying our own awakening. Right? We're like, nah, let me just sleep a little bit longer. When I finally feel rested, then I'll wake up. But no, I don't really want to let go of the dream that I'm having right now. So I don't know. I think that makes sense to me in what you shared and what I shared. Hopefully everyone caught the gist. And yeah, thank you, Jill, for such a great share. Okay, Helen.
Hi, thank you. This is, for me, what I'm thinking is that if one is bringing the past into the present with a friend or whatever, that forgiveness would have to take place at some level. There'd have to be some sort of forgiveness, and I think Jill just hit on that at the end. That forgiving or I don't want to say not remembering any ill will or past hurts or any of that still lingers on before we can move into the presence. We have to forgive it, I would suspect.
Can you say that one more time?
Yep. So if I'm going to move into the present with a friend that I have had a history with, and I still hold on to that history.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not a good one. Otherwise, I would be in the present together anyway. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to forgive that person. I'm going to have to forgive myself as well for maintaining that ill will, and then forgive that person for those. So to me, that seems like it's a clean slate, and then we can just move into the present.
Yes, so that clean slate, let's go back to the forgiveness and that clean slate for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, first of all, in lesson 122, forgiveness offers everything I want. But forgiveness, let's define what that is, right? Because the Course will say forgiveness, like lesson 121, forgiveness is the key to happiness. Forgiveness is offers everything I want. But what is forgiveness? Let's like identify that real quick. If I can flip to it and find it. I will get there.
For me, forgive.
Yes, you define it first.
For me, I would have to take the ill will that still lives inside of me regarding that person and just release it. Because I am now, I want to be of love, and I want that person to be of love with me. That's the whole life's purpose. So holding on to, I'm calling it ill will or bad feelings, or holding on to that issue is whatever it may be. Is where the block is what's blocking both of us, or as many, into the present moment.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes complete sense. I'm with you. It's like when the Course says atonement, right? When it talks about atonement, forgiveness, salvation, these words are used pretty much. They could be interchangeable also, because it's really meaning the undoing of something. Right. Forgiveness is also the undoing of something. Our atonement is to undo something. Our salvation is in the undoing, the unmaking of the illusions that we've created. So if you think about forgiveness from that place, right? It's not a condoning of something. Forgiveness is really the undoing of something. So let's go into the Course's definition of forgiveness here. Okay, go ahead.
And talking about Mike's position, the position of past experiences that he was having is bringing, preventing him from having positive experiences in his new position.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So we carry the past, right? All the energies and what we felt, and then we bring it to this moment, which means this moment has been imprisoned by the past. So we can't actually experience what we really wanted to experience, or what we could possibly experience in this moment right here, right now. And it's always in this moment that we actually choose our release. There is going to be this moment for you where you make that decision. It doesn't have to be 2 weeks from now. It will always happen in this moment. Okay, so in our forgiveness, of course, just forgiveness is the pathway to presence. The forgiveness is the pathway to God. Forgiveness is the pathway to love. All those words meaning the same thing. Present, God, love. Right? So what really does that word mean, forgiveness? And this is a distinction if we can make in our mind, because again, what we think about forgiveness, does it reinforce time past, hurts, pains, traumas, wrongdoingness, anger, judgment? Does forgiveness reinforce that, or does forgiveness undoes that? That's what we're going to have to, it's a thinking, and which teacher that we choose to interpret from the exact same word will have a complete diametrically opposing viewpoint. So imagine that. The word forgiveness itself, one takes you all the way that way, and the other way goes in the complete opposite direction. The same word, right? There, it's either left or it's right. You're not going halfway left, halfway right. Whichever teacher interprets the word forgiveness, does it make the past more real, or does it undo the past? Okay, so here's the definition of forgiveness. Is everybody with that? Okay, awesome. And as we just read this, you can allow anything that you're holding on to, right? The intention is, as we read this, let whatever it is, whoever it is that you're holding on to, allow that to be undone. The reference points that you have to anything that comes to your mind right now, we're going to have it be undone. And just imagine the chains that you've attached to it just vaporize as the reading happens right now. Okay, so what is forgiveness? According to A Course in Miracles in here, forgiveness recognizes what you thought your brother did to you has not occurred. Who are these people that cause you anger, cause you judgment, cause you loss of peace? It does not pardon sins and make them real. It sees that there was no sin. And in that viewpoint, are all your sins forgiven? What is sin except a false idea about God's Son? Forgiveness merely sees its falsity and therefore lets it go. What then is free to take its place is now the will of God, is now love, is now presence. An unforgiving thought is one which makes a judgment that it will not raise to doubt, although it is not true. The mind is closed and it will not be released. The thought protects projection, tightening its chains so that distortions are more veiled and more obscured, less easily accessible to doubt, and further kept from reason. Your insane mind is being protected by this. What can come between a fixed projection and the aim that it has chosen as its wanted goal? An unforgiving thought does many things. In frantic action, it pursues its goals, twisting and overturning what it sees as interfering with its chosen path. Distortion is its purpose, and the means by which it would accomplish it as well. It sets about its furious attempts to smash reality without concern for anything that would appear to pose a contradiction to its point of view. So that's an unforgiving thought, an unforgiving mind. That's insanity. Forgiveness, on the other hand, is still and quietly does nothing. It offends no aspect of reality, nor seeks to twist it to the appearance it likes. It merely looks and awaits and waits and judges not. He who would not forgive must judge, for he must justify his failure to forgive. You who do not forgive must judge, for you must justify your failure to forgive. Wow. But he who would forgive himself must learn to welcome truth exactly as it is. So what do? Do nothing then, and let forgiveness show you what to do. Through him, who is your guide, your savior and protector, strong in hope and certain of your ultimate success, he has forgiven you already, for such is his function given him by God. Now must you share his function and forgive whom he has already saved, whose sinlessness he sees and whom he honors as your brothers, the Son of God. So that is forgiveness. Yeah. There's something else that I like to share about forgiveness in here somewhere too. Any thoughts? Michelle. Hello, my friend.
Hello, my friends. I would love to share a quick poem.
Okay.
That
Love it.
feels like it's going to encompass us up in love and forgiveness. So it goes, I will be the sun that rises, whether or not it's embraced, whether hands reach out to catch its warmth or shutters close against its touch. I will spill gold upon the waking earth, kiss the edges of the unseen, and burn for those who never turn to see. I love not for permission, not for return, nor for ease. I love when love is unwelcomed, when it is met with silence, with shadow, with walls built higher than memory. I love even when there is every reason not to. For love in its highest form knows no condition, seeks no bargain, and bends to no refusal. Even when kindness meets a thorned rose. Like the dawn that does not falter, like the tide that answers only to the moon. I will rise, I will give, I will love, not because it is received, but it's because it's who I am.
Whoa.
Love you.
That was epic.
Really, so much breakthrough today for me. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
That was so good. I love the way you put that together, and you're, just, about the sun's touch, and wow, it's great. That was awesome. Beautiful. What else? Oh, wow. Okay, look at the time. Okay, campers. We are concluding here, unless somebody feels very compelled to share. Such a great call. Thank you, Lyra, for being here. Thank you, everyone that was here to witness and be witnessed. Appreciate you all, and much blessings to everybody on this beautiful Sunday here. And you all know where to reach me. If there are any conversations, anything you want to chat about, I'm here for it. And if you are in Austin this week, come to Aria. All right, everyone. Peace out.